I became familiar with Roberts Field when my son played baseball, and I think a lot of people share that experience as well. And then also with Friendship Park, we used to come here a lot, and then we started walking our dogs here, and got to know a lot of the neighbors. That's how I met Wolf. And then there's a lot of neighbors from the neighborhood that use the park as well. You see a lot of folks that walk their dogs here, ride bikes here. You know, a lot of folks ice skate here in the wintertime. But I guess it was back in 2008. There was really only one main trail leading from the open park here to the neighborhood in the back on Jonathan Lane, and then a couple of smaller trails that were sort of opened up here. So we spoke with the town manager and with the Board of Selectmen and then the Conservation Commission and got all the approvals to open the trails up and make them more passable. And that's kind of where everything started, for me at least. And we founded the Friends of Roberts Field group in 2013 to do that.
A couple of years later, I think, was when we got to know each other. And same thing for me. I'm here every day walking my dog. And so eventually we ran into each other, chatted about what we liked, and I was surprised at Bill's energy and dedication to because it's hard work. He kind of passes over it like it was nothing opening up those trails, but that was very overgrown in there, lots of invasives, poison ivy here and there, and that was a lot of work. Clearing, I think it's about a mile total of trail that we have
about
there.
a mile loop. And this was a project we took on in 2013. One of the biggest issues that we had with this is that this property was opened up for a few years and sort of left open, and it was overrun by invasives. Lots of poison ivy, lots of bittersweet. So we've over the last 3 years we've been working really hard to clear all that stuff out, open it up.
Could you tell me about this garden right here?
Yeah, this garden is our wildlife and seed foraging garden. So there's a mix of plants in here that are specifically grown to benefit birds and other small mammals, and it will give them seeds and habitat to live.
And this is the first season for it. That's why you don't see much yet. It was just seeded this spring.
Great area back here for birds. There's a ton of birds back here. Just in the last few months, I've been trying to sort of document the different birds that are here with the camera, and at first I always thought they were like, blackbirds and maybe a sparrow or two, but what I found is that there's a huge variety. There's common grackles, there's eastern kingfishers, there are chimney swifts, red-winged blackbirds, all different types of sparrows. There's just a ton of variety that come through here. Great blue herons come through.
Yep. I remember one summer we had green herons here for a little while. They came through for a while. And those are pretty rare sight, I think. We got tree swallows, I think they're called.
Yep.
So again, they help keep the mosquito population down.
Yeah. There's just about every year there's a family of geese that'll come through and raise their goslings here, and then they kind of move on. This year we had ducks as well, so we had those two families here. Corey Rose, a wetland scientist, friend of Roberts Field, put together the planting list for this, and when she did it specifically so that she could time the different blooms so that there would always be different blooms throughout the different times of the year.
Oh.
And then we also mixed in other donated plants, and we're still continuing to add some plants in, but most of the plants that you see here are really just from the fall from last year. So we're really excited about how everything's come back and responded. We've got some blueberry plants and things in here too. So it's not just about flowers; it's about feeding the wildlife out here as well. We've got blueberries and blackberries, and there's bee balm and goat's beard. There's a nice variety of plants in this one small area. Well, we formed the group in 2013, and in talking to them about the Conservation Commission and talking to the Conservation Commission about the trails, it came to my attention that someone, Corey Rose, who's a wetland scientist, had the idea of taking this corner property and creating a butterfly garden there. So the whole park itself is dedicated to pollinators. We've got we established a new garden there last fall with donations from people's gardens and also just donations of plants from Weston nurseries. Our main garden has over 50 varieties of pollinating plants or plants that are good for pollinators. We've also got we established a wildlife seed and foraging garden as well to help feed and shelter the animals. We also have a shade garden there, and then we also have a flowering meadow, a natural flowering meadow, so that it gets mowed annually, but it's full of a variety of different goldenrods and milkweeds and different plants that are native to the habitat that will draw in more pollinators and sort of help them we've got a great group of leaders and a great group of scouts that are willing to step up and do things. And I mean, they have. I mean, 2 scouts created our bridges and blazed the trail in the back here. And it's outstanding because I think the park for a long time had sort of been the tale of 2 halves. It was always the Friendship Park and the baseball fields, and then sort of the pond was sort of an afterthought. And by opening up the trails and putting the skate shack in and the gardens and stuff, it's starting to kind of combine the two. And I think people are seeing it more as a whole now, which is really nice. I see a lot of parents with their children walking on the trails, which kids don't get a lot of opportunities to get out and get in nature, but you see them in the trails and you usually hear them before you see them because they're
I've
so
been very
happy to be in
surprised
there.
how popular the trails are. Like I said, our house is right behind the trees there, so we actually see and hear people that walk in the back of the pond, and we got used to it. Our dog used to bark at first, but now we're used to it, and it's great. It doesn't bother me in the least. I'm really happy that people come out and enjoy the natural sights, and it's amazing the variety of wildlife we have around.
It really is, especially birds.
Yeah.